Morning, guys. What's going on? Nick here. In a bit of a, I don't know, ambivalent mood because, you know, as we know, the events of yesterday in Parkland is definitely tragic, and, you know, every time, every time you see something like this or hear something like this, it's heart wrenching, it's heartbreaking, and, you know, it's just so moving, down to your very soul, and not just for, sadness, but it's sobering, you know, and there will be a lot of posts, there will be a lot of, video and stuff like that, and people praying for Parkland High School and the families of Parkland High School, and, you know, just all this outpouring of love and affection and remembrance and memorials and things like that, which is definitely something that is expected and needed and appreciated by all, you know. Me and my wife were talking about it last night, and just, how, well, not just that last night, but just we didn't we didn't really know last night until I found out late. But we were talking about the state of the country right now, where things are with things like ICE, and you know back in other countries, and where we're from and stuff like that, and how crazy life is, and you know just things like that, and just the state of the world right now. And you know in the Bible it talks about in the last days men waxing cold, and the days becoming more evil, and things like that. And it's really sobering to see that those things keep coming true and keep happening. And I was watching the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and he talks about the normalcy that comes with, um, you know, just these things happening. The U.S. is literally now far ahead of most countries in the world as far as mass shootings, and that's sad. I mean, and the common thread with people that respond to this, especially in leadership in the country, is you talk about, gun control, you talk about violence control, and we need to do better than, reforms and things like that. But honestly, and this is what I'll say, and I'm responsible for, I have the right in this country to have my own opinion and bear the opinion of the words of my voice. And as a man of God, I'm very, very mindful when I say this. I know gun owners, and I know law abiding gun owners, and I know people that respect its power, and they know exactly what it means, to even be in possession of a gun, you know, and it's guaranteed by the Constitution, the right to bear arms. But when you are not in your right mind of your frame of mind, and you're not in your faculties, you know I'm not gonna call people insane, because that's just a relative. It's relative to other people's level of what's called sane. But what I will say is that if you are not thinking clearly, and you've had a mental history of instability and things like that, you know, just being allowed to get a gun is just it's just not wise. You know, people need, you know, and people on both sides of the fence will talk about, you know, we just need to just outlaw guns, and you know, we just, they're just bad and things like. But people, we have to understand on both sides of the issue that even though they are destructive and devastating and things like that, and people can also say that they're great tools of protection because you have the right to protect your family, you know, and protect what's yours, you know. And just knowing these things, you know, it doesn't excuse what how things like this happen, you know. But and I'm not trying to get into what we should and shouldn't do about guns, but you respect the power of the weapon. Want to you understand that, you know, knowing safety, knowing what to do in certain situations, you know, it doesn't excuse people who have malicious intentions. It doesn't excuse people who have, you know, I don't even know how to put it, mental instability histories and things like that. You should not be able to just willingly go out there and be able to have access to a weapon, even if you don't purchase one. Even gun owners who are law-abiding citizens, they don't have any past, they don't have any kind of mental instability, but in the day and age of where children are so much enamored with the opinion of what people think about them. Who knows why this guy did what he did? Who knows what was the motivation? What's up, Jose? It's good to see you, man. I had to come on here and do this live earlier because, you know, well, it was just on my mind, man, and I had to come on here and do this. So thanks so much for tuning in. Who knows why this guy did what he did? And who knows what his motivations were? But to be able to say that, you know, he was just able to go get one, however he got it, whether he got it from, you know, his parents' house, a friend's house, or whatever it is, you know, we have to be more vigilant as a society to look for these things and not just willingly place the blame on, you know, guns are destructive, or, you know, people need to stop watching so much TV, or, you know, you have to be more vigilant. I feel like people who just say that, you know, they just randomly place blame on something, you know, it kind of gives you the excuse to be like, okay, I have nothing to do with it. I have nothing to, you know, to tie to it because, you know, it's not me. It's not my job to be vigilant. It's not my job to watch people. It's not my job to, you know, look out for signs and signals because, trust me, if you look back into this kid's past, and you look back into his present and look for signs of instability, or, you know, signs of, you know, just whatever was his motivation, the clues are there. Stuff like, you know, people don't just wake up one day and just decide whatever, you know, there are clues. I mean, there's rare instances where that happens, but there has to be some kind of psychosis involved or whatever it is. But for the by and large, you know, that stuff that just doesn't happen just randomly with that person. It starts from somewhere. It's rooted in something. And, you know, being more vigilant as far as, you know, parents being vigilant, teachers being vigilant, you know, other people in the community being vigilant, saying, you know, and it doesn't say that you have to chase down kids and, you know, get all up in and, you know, see and harass them and things like that. but show that you care about somebody and take an interest in somebody that, that's around you, and, live that life of, I want to be better for someone else, impact someone else, and be like, hey, I don't know what it is you're going through today, but I want to tell you, if nobody else did, that I love you. I want to tell you that, it's going to be okay. You would be surprised to think that, something simple as just giving someone a hug, or giving someone, a handshake, or telling someone genuinely that you care about them, how much that could change their perspective, and how much that can literally make the difference in them going off the deep end, and in them choosing to do something, to make a decision, to change the way that they think about whatever's going on in their lives. And I'm not excusing what he did. I'm not saying, this guy should be, shown leniency and things like that, because and that's the thing that happens these days, is that we just get to pawn it off on mental instability or whatever it is, and just move on with our lives and say, okay, well, we need to lock him up in an asylum and just hope that he gets better. And no, you gotta address these issues, and you can't reverse time. Especially when you're talking to the families of these kids. I mean, if you have children, if you have grandchildren, if you have kids that you care for and about, we're living in a world today where it's very, very easy to be scared out of your mind about dropping your kids to school or dropping them at daycare. I drop my wife and daughter off at school every single day, and it's hard sometimes to watch something like this, know something like this is real and it did happen and it is unfortunate and it is horrible, and then to pick up your keys in the morning and go to drop your wife and daughter off, to drop your husband and your son off, or whatever it is, and drop your kids off, and know that this is the world that we live in. But guys, we have to commit to, reaching out to God, and reaching out to for these families, and reaching out for our nation, because it's not just, it's as unfortunate and horrid as this is, what this guy did, as bad as it is, it's just one drop in the bucket of the issues that are going on right now in our country, right now in our society. Even just before I came on this live, I was looking at a story, just going through randomly trending topics right now. A young girl was stabbed and wrapped in a blanket and left on the highway, and police found her. Stuff. These are heinous acts. These are heinous acts. And, me and my wife were just talking, like I was saying earlier, about somebody, and I'm not going to mention names or anything like that, but basically an elderly lady was brutally knocked down, and it was just so heinous to think that people these days have no respect, no honor for life, no kind of heart for people. No kind. Back in the day, there was certain things that people wouldn't do. People. There were always people that would cross the line, but by and large, as a society, there were things that you just didn't do. As bad as you are, as bad as you wanted to be. There's just certain things that you didn't do. Like, you didn't harm children. You didn't, disrespect and harm the elderly. I used to see growing up some of the most violent people, They would shoot people. They were known for shooting people without a care, for known for robbing people. And I would see even those people have respect for the elderly. Say, okay, nah, that's going too far. Even those people, back when I was growing up, when I was a kid, they had some kind of boundary where it just wasn't something that you did. There were certain things that you just didn't do. And I feel like we live in a time now where there is no boundary. People just don't care. And it's so frustrating sometimes to see how, especially today, where our leaders are just blasé about a lot of issues. And you'll get, and in the age of social media, and I'm on Facebook right now saying this, but in the age of social media, where it's like, boom, something happens, and we talk about it for a couple of days, or we talk about it for a few weeks, and then it's on to the next topic. It's on to the next trending topic. It's on to the next viral video. It's on to the next issue that's plaguing the news or plaguing social media or whatever it is. We live in a society that's what it is. That every 2 seconds you move from one thing to the next. But it's a challenge right now that we don't just feel bad, feel sad, feel horrified, feel victimized, and do the thoughts and prayers posts, and do all these different things, and lifting up the families, and that's stuff we should do. But let's not just stop there. Let's reach out to God. Reach out to God sincerely and earnestly for our nation. Reach out to God sincerely and earnestly for our families, and sincerely and earnestly for our world, because there is just so much to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And not even talking about your own life, not just talking about what you have to deal with, I should say. And just in that light, you get so caught up in that, but just, we gotta reach out to God for our society as a whole, as a world, as a planet, because at the end of the day, guys, we're all human, and the more we lose sight of that is the more things get worse. See, you get tempted to focus just on the negative stuff, but it reminds me of just what I'm thankful to God for, because things like my wife, who I can, just starting with having me as her husband, that's something, God gave her strength to. She's the only one that's tasked with that responsibility and with that blessing, and I thank God so much for her, because she is definitely a woman of prayer. She's definitely a woman that is grounded and rooted and just reaching out for people, and she's an intercessor, and I thank God so much for her, because she's a true co-captain. She reminds me so much, that in spite of everything that's going on, you need to stay focused, and you need to keep reaching out, and you need to, crying out to God and things like that, and just what she is to me is invaluable. I can't even begin to think of my life, what my life would be if she wasn't in it, and things like my daughter, there's so much newness of life in her. I'm thankful so much for her spirit, for her, every bit of who she is who, is who God uses to teach me and my wife, the basics of God's love, and the basics of, being who God needs us to be, and above that, my family, my mom, my dad, my step parents, I love them so much. And in times like this, you really, really think about how much you're thankful to just have your family around you, and to know that, they're still a phone call away. And I'm genuinely thankful for these people, for just the opportunity to just be close to them and hug them, and just to even be thankful. I'm just thankful for the fact that I have a place to voice my opinion, to voice my heart about issues like this, and about what's important to me. I'm thankful for the opportunity to still in the midst of these tragedies, in the midst of these injustices, to be able to stand for something and have a platform to stand for something. To have all you guys watching, Sarah, Mike, Benita, Jose, thank you guys. To have you guys, I'm thankful for you guys, because you guys are the ones that have consistently been supporting. You guys are the ones who are consistently, making yourselves available, giving me a chance to be a part of your day. And without you guys, I would just be talking into my phone or into my laptop. So these are, things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for just to have life, to have air in my lungs, to being able to wake up this morning and to thank God for just another day, because another day in the land of the living is another day that you have opportunity to change your life, to change your situation, to be an impact to someone else. What's up, Watana? Thank you so much for watching. To basically influence someone, and I'm just thankful. Just above all those things, above all those people, I'm so thankful to God, because God is the one that gave me life, that gave me. Without him waking me up this morning, I couldn't think about my family. I couldn't think about my teammates. I couldn't think about money and business and working from home, and referrals, and any kind of pay, or any kind of thing that moves my life, anything that's important to me. I couldn't think about that without him. I couldn't breathe without him. There's nothing that's me, that's anybody, that's anything in this world without him. And I'm just so thankful for my relationship with him. I'm so thankful for the way he has raised not just me, but people around me, and the people that he chooses to have in my life, and to just his direction in my life. And I don't even know how, I can't even begin to be thankful enough for the way God has been good to me and my family, the way God has been so protective, in me and my family. Because guys, every single day, I get up and I go out there, and I whether I'm prospecting, or whether I'm, just talking to people, or going out to lunch, or sitting with people and talking to people, just, shooting the breeze, or whatever it is. You never know what can happen, and the events of yesterday proves it. And on a day where it's supposed to be about happiness and love, and sharing your love for the ones that you care about the most, and all that, in the midst of that, you could have this horrible tragedy. Yes, this is the world that we live in. Yes, it can happen so suddenly. Yes, it can happen just like that. And that's the thing that I think about a lot, that that it can happen just that suddenly, just that horribly, and it could hit your family like a runaway freight train. But I believe that God is able, and I believe that God is in control, and I believe that regardless of how horrid the circumstance, that God has a plan, that God still has a plan at work, and there's nothing that he doesn't know, there's nothing that he doesn't see. And people will get into this mindset of, if God is so good, then why does he afford these things to happen? Why does he allow these things to happen? It's not Him that allows these things to happen. It is our choices. It is the evil of men's hearts. It is the evil that they do. It is the way that we inherently are as human beings. That you don't have to train. Think about this, guys. You don't have to train a child to be mean. You don't have to train a child to be nasty. You don't have to train a child to hit somebody or push somebody over. It's inherent in the design that because of sin, because that we have been separated from God before in the very beginning we were separated from God, and because of Adam's lineage and because of all that, we have been separated. But thank God for Jesus Christ and His sacrifice and bringing us back to Him. But even bringing us back to Him and having that newness and having that bond restored. It's like my daughter, as sweet and as lovable as she is, as cute as she is, as all these different things, that she is, that she's so wonderful. I don't have to train her to do bad things. I don't have to train her to disobey me. I don't have to train her these things. I have to train her to be kind, to be courteous, to say thank you, to say please, to be nice to people. That's what you have to train people. That's, as a parent, that's what you have to do for your kids. The other things, you don't have to train them for these negative things. It's inherent because of our nature. But because you know this as a parent, it doesn't change the fact that is. It doesn't change the fact that they have these tendencies. And it's the same with God. Even though He created us, He designed us, He gave us free will, that we can choose to be the best of ourselves, or we can choose to be the worst of ourselves. A guy named Frank Turek that I watch every now and again talks about Christianity, and I don't want to delve into just the category of Christianity, because I believe in relationship, not religion. But he was talking about the fact of the way God intended. You can't know what evil is if there is no good. There is no standard. You don't know how to get up if you don't fall. And that's what that I'm getting at, is that without the opposing perspective, you can't have another one. You can't have one versus the other, or one without the other. So just the way that God created us, just the way as He designed us, He made sure that we had free will. And doing so, that inevitably created the chance that we may not be the best of ourselves. But because of free will, we have a responsibility to choose every single day to be the best of ourselves. And some people don't. And when some people don't, these things happen. Tragedies like Sandy Hook, tragedies like Columbine, tragedies like Parkland High, they will happen as long as people choose to not be the best of themselves. These things will continue to happen. And if we choose to remain complacent, to not be vigilant, things like this will continue to happen. There's so many issues, like I said before, there's so many issues that are happening right now outside of this horrid tragedy that we don't even hear about. But because of whatever reason, some are given more light than others. So I'll leave you guys with this. Live every day like it's your last. Love hard. Dream big. Fail big. That's right, I said it. Fail big. Because you only have one life. And when it's over, you're done. So if you have If you have goals, and you have dreams, and you have things that you want to accomplish, if you have things that you wanted to do to make your life and the lives around you better, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to make an impact, to leave this world a better place than when we were here. So people choose to not be the best of themselves. But you can choose every single day to make a decision. Make a decision to be the best of yourself. Make a decision, if you don't know God, to reach out to him. That's my challenge to you guys. So I thank you so much. I thank everybody for watching. I thank everybody for tuning in live, and for those who will watch the replay. I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for always being supportive. I will be posting other content, as you know, as most of you guys know. If you are new to my lives, you can always hit the see first button to catch my live posts. If you want more content, you can follow my blog page at Millionaire Insight for more content. But guys, please take the opportunity today to reach out to God. Take the opportunity today to be vigilant. Take the opportunity today to make each breath count. All right? See you guys next time. Live life. Love God. See you when I see you.